Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial I wanted to show you a very easy stitch, 2 rows repeat only. It's very easy. This stitch might eat some yarn, but if you like to make this to do a scarf with this stitch, I think to have this this look, you're gonna have to chain a very long chain, which means the chain can be long as you like the scarf to be. Yeah. You can make a hat even. So these are the sides of the scarf. Yeah. So when you put the scarf on you, it's gonna be like this. Yeah. And the stitch is reversible. But working with puffs, this might take some yarn. I used with this yarn, I used 3.0 millimeter crochet hook, and the puffs are not so bulky, so big. Yeah. So this yarn, it's kind of thin, yeah, in comparison with the one that I'm gonna work and show you how to do the stitch. Yeah. Okay, well, this stitch we're gonna have to chain multiples of 3 plus 2 more. So I have here 15 multiples of 3, and I'm gonna chain 2 more, 1 and 2. We're gonna skip the first chain, and into the second chain we're gonna do a single crochet, and in each chain, this row, we're gonna do single crochet. So move to the next chain, single crochet, next chain, single crochet, and so on. In each chain, single crochet. So if you make a scarf, I will suggest you try to work, you kind of twist this like this, and you work into the bumps, and you're gonna have a very nice edge for the scarf, if you like to do so. But now, just to do this tutorial, I'm gonna go directly through the chain, not to the bump in the back of the chain. So single crochet in each chain, and I'm working now with 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. This yarn recommends that I use this crochet hook. So the last chain, single crochet, and after we do this row of single crochet, we're gonna chain 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is one of the rows, the row that we're gonna do now, one of the rows that you're gonna repeat on and on and on. So the first stitch is here from where this chain it's coming. So yarn over the hook, we're gonna go into the first chain from where the first stitch from where the 3 chain it's coming. So we're gonna do a double crochet without finishing, yarn over the hook, move to the next stitch, double crochet without finishing, move to the next stitch, a double crochet without finishing. 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all the loops, chain 1, and now between the chain 3 and this double crochet, the next double crochet into this space, yarn over the hook, we're gonna go in there 4 times. Now depends how thick is your yarn. If the yarn is too thick, maybe you can go only 3 times into this, through this space, but I'm gonna go 4 times. So once, twice, 3 and 4. Yeah. Pull the yarn through all the loops, so yarn over the hook, and now we're gonna go back into the last stitch that we did the last double crochet, where we worked last, and we're gonna go in there and do a double crochet without finishing, move to the next stitch, double crochet again without finishing, move to the next stitch, double crochet without finishing. So you're gonna do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. Yeah. So now yarn over and pull the yarn through all the loops, chain 1, and now into this space between the last puff and this double crochets, yarn over the hook, we're gonna go through this space right there, and we're gonna do a puff. So once, go back again, second, third, and the 4th time, pull the yarn through all the loops, So again, we're going to repeat. We're going to go back to the last stitch that we worked, and we're going to do a double crochet without finishing. So 1, move to the next stitch. This is the second double crochet without finishing, and the third double crochet into the next stitch. So 4 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all the loops, chain 1. Yeah? So now the space between the puff and the double crochets right here. Yeah, yarn over the hook, we're gonna go in there 4 times. So once, twice, and the third time, and the fourth. Pull the yarn through all the loops, and we're gonna repeat. We go back to the last stitch that we worked, and I'm gonna do a double crochet without finishing. We go to the next stitch, double crochet without finishing, and the next stitch, the third double crochet. So we have 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1. And now the space between the cluster, these 3 double crochet together, and the puff, let's say here, so underneath you see a line here, we go underneath that line. Yeah, so we're gonna go in there 4 times. So once, twice, 3, and 4. Pull the yarn through all the loops. We go back to the last stitch that we worked, and we're gonna continue 1 double crochet without finishing, move to the next stitch, double crochet without finishing, the next stitch, double crochet. So you should do 3 double crochets. Yeah. Pull the yarn through all the loops, chain 1, and now we're gonna do the puff. So we're gonna go into that space 4 times. Once, twice, 3, and the 4th time. Pull the yarn through all the loops, and we're gonna repeat. The last stitch that we work, gonna do a double crochet, move to the next stitch, double crochet without finishing, and the next stitch, double crochet. Pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and now we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, 3, and the 4th time. Pull the yarn through all the loops. Yeah. So we go back to the last stitch that we worked. So once, we're gonna do a first double crochet, move to the next stitch, double crochet, and the next stitch, double crochet without finishing them. Pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and now we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, 3, and 4. Pull the yarn through all the loops, yarn over the hook, and we have left with 1 stitch, and in this last stitch we're gonna do a double crochet, a normal double crochet. Yeah. Chain 2. So we're gonna do this row, and then this one that we're gonna repeat. So the first stitch is here, we're gonna go in there, and we're gonna do a single crochet on top of the puff. We're gonna go in there, and we're gonna do a single crochet. So this row is gonna be single crochet in each stitch. So the next in there, single crochet on top of the puff. Yeah. Single crochet between the puffs, that stitch, single crochet, and so on. This row, it's very easy. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to go on top of this this puff sometimes. I just warn you to know that. Yeah, sometimes it's not quite easy. So single crochet in each, on top of the puff also. Well, it's a very easy stitch, but it's gonna eat some yarn. Now depends how many times you want to go and do the puff. So on top of the puff, we're gonna do a single crochet, and we have the chain 3 here at the end. So we're gonna go on top of the 3rd chain, and we're gonna do in there a single crochet. Yeah. And now you're gonna repeat the row with the puffs. Chain 3, turn your work, it's gonna look like this. So when you put the scarf, like, it's gonna look like this, you know, vertical. You can make a scarf like this and look like this if you like. So yarn over the hook. The first stitch is here. We're gonna go in there and do a double crochet without finishing. Next stitch, a double crochet without finishing, and the next stitch, a double crochet without finishing. So you should have 3 double crochets without finishing. With the chain, it's 4. Pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and the space between this double crochet and the chain 3, we have a space in there, so we're gonna go into through that space and do a puff. So once, twice, 3, and the 4th time, pull the yarn through all the loops. Now you're gonna go back to the last stitch that we worked. We did the last double crochet in there, and we're gonna do a double crochet without finishing. Move to the next stitch, double crochet. Next stitch, double crochet without finishing them. Pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and now the space in here, the space between the cluster of double crochet and the puff, we're gonna go do a puff. Pull the yarn through all the loops, and we continue going to the last stitch that we worked. Next stitch, double crochet, and next stitch, double crochet. 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and we're gonna go this space here, and we're gonna do a puff. I'm gonna do like this. Move to the next stitch, double crochet. Next stitch, double crochet. Pull the yarn through all the loops, chain 1, and in the space is like a triangle in there. So we're gonna do a puff. So once, twice, 3rd, and the 4th time. Like I said, if you think the puffs are too bulky, too big, then you go only 3 times if you like to do that. So we go back to the last stitch that we worked through, do a double crochet without finishing, move to the next stitch, double crochet, next stitch, double crochet. So we have 3 of them. Pull the yarn through all the loops, chain 1, and we're gonna do a puff in there behind that cluster of double crochet together, and so on. It goes really fast, but boy, it's gonna eat a lot of yarn. So if you have yarn that you want to get rid of, well, you can do that. You can do this stitch, 3, and the 4th time, pull the yarn through all the loops, and now at the end here we're gonna go back to the last stitch that we worked, and we do a double crochet without finishing, move to the next stitch, double crochet without finishing, and the next stitch, double crochet without finishing. 4 loops, pull the yarn through all 4 loops, chain 1, and we're gonna do a puff in there, 3, and 4th, pull the yarn through all the, and at the end here we're gonna go in there, in here, right here, and do a double crochet. You're always gonna finish with a double crochet, yeah? And now you're gonna chain 2, and in the first stitch here you're gonna do a single crochet. You're gonna go on top of the puff and do a single crochet. So this is how you're gonna finish the scarf, let's say, with the last row single crochet. But well, this is not a tutorial for a scarf, it's just stitch tutorial. So on top of the puff also, I'm gonna go in there and you're gonna do a single crochet, and in between the stitch between the puffs, yeah, sometimes this one on top of the puffs, it might be a little bit difficult. Don't forget always this one between the puffs. So you have here the last puff, we're gonna go on top, yeah. Do a single crochet, and we have the chain 3, so we're gonna go 1 2 3, the third chain on top there, we're gonna do a single crochet, and now you're gonna chain 3, and you're gonna repeat the row with the puffs. So it's gonna look like this when you put the scarf on you. Now this yarn, it's a little bit thick, but if you like the scarf to be like this, the puffs horizontal, that's great. But the sample that I like more like this, vertical. Yeah. It's really nice. And you can combine colors when you do the puffs, for example. If you like, you can do those 3, you know, 1 row of 3 double crochet together, and then the puff you can do, you know, different colors. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Give it a try to this stitch. You might enjoy. Yeah, it's like this. Okay, well, thank you for watching. Bye bye.